Take a moment to settle into stillness. No effort, no fixing, just listening. There is a habit most of us carry without ever choosing it. We judge. We judge strangers, people we love, people we don't understand. We judge their choices, their pace, their confidence, their mistakes. And most of the time, we don't even notice it happening. But here is something quietly important. Every judgment you place on another person becomes a rule your mind applies to you. If you judge people for being awkward, your mind will punish you for every moment of hesitation. If you judge people for resting, you will feel guilt when you slow down. If you judge people for not reaching their potential, you will never feel like you've done enough. Judgment seems outward, but it always turns inward, because the mind does not ask who the rule was meant for. Most people believe judgment is clarity. They say, "I'm just being honest. I'm just discerning. I can see through people." But much of what we call judgment is simply fear, trying to feel safe. By labeling others, we create the illusion of control. If they are wrong, then I must be right. If they are behind, then I must be ahead. But every illusion has a cost, and the cost of judgment is pressure. Notice this gently. You tend to judge others most harshly, in the same places you judge yourself. Confidence that irritates you often points to self-doubt. Ambition that bothers you may touch a fear of failure. Peace that feels undeserved can reveal how hard you've been on yourself. Judgment is rarely about them. It's a mirror. Imagine for a moment your mind as a courtroom. Everyone is on trial. Every action is evaluated. Every mistake is recorded. Now imagine living there. Would you feel safe? Would you take risks? Would you grow? Now imagine something different. Your mind as a workshop. Mistakes become feedback. Differences become information. People are observed, not condemned. One environment produces tension. The other produces learning. When judgment softens, your nervous system relaxes. You stop bracing against the world. You stop scanning for flaws. You stop comparing timelines. And in that space, compassion grows naturally. Not as an obligation, but as a response to safety. Judgment tightens, curiosity releases. Compassion is often misunderstood. It does not mean excusing everything. It does not mean lowering standards. You can see clearly without being cruel. You can set boundaries without contempt. When emotional charge fades, clarity sharpens. You see behavior as conditioned, contextual, human. And once you see others this way, you begin to see yourself the same way. Every human behavior is an attempt to meet a need. Some attempts are skillful, some are confused, some cause harm, but none arise from nothing. When you ask, "What need is this trying to meet?" instead of "What's wrong with them?" judgment dissolves, and understanding takes its place. Self-judgment often feels productive, but it doesn't create growth. It creates hiding. When you judge yourself harshly, you avoid risk. You avoid honesty. You avoid being seen. When judgment softens, learning begins. You stop defending an image and start refining a process. That is where real confidence forms. Here is a quiet practice. When you notice judgment arise, pause. Ask yourself, what rule am I enforcing right now? Then ask, do I apply this rule to myself? Awareness is not correction, it is freedom. Judgment does not vanish instantly, it loosens. And in that loosening, space appears. Space to breathe, space to change, space to be human, imperfect, unfinished, worthy of patience. Here is the paradox. The less you judge, the higher your standards can become, because they are no longer fueled by fear, but by clarity. You stop demanding perfection and start cultivating excellence for others and for yourself. So let this be the final thought. Every time you choose understanding over judgment, you loosen the grip around your own mind. Freedom rarely announces itself. It feels like spaciousness, like calm strength, like ease without weakness. And it begins the moment no one, including you, needs to be put on trial in order to grow.